Hello and thank you for joining my channel, guys. Today we are watching one exceptional game of Magnus Carlsen played at the first round of the FIDE World Blitz Championship held in Samarkand, Uzbekistan. Time control was 3 minutes with 2-second increment per move, and Magnus Carlsen was playing as white and he opened the game with e4. His opponent replied with e5. We have knight f3, knight c6 and bishop b5 Spanish game. a6 for black, bishop a4 for Magnus, and game continued with knight to f6 for black. The common continuation that was played in this game was d3 to protect this pawn on e4. Game continued with bishop c5. This is Andersen variation. Magnus continues the game with c3, which is a thematic move. You want to save this white squared bishop and move it to b3 or c2. Game continued with b5 for black, so black now attacks Magnus's bishop. Magnus retreats it to b3, and we have d6 on the board for black. Magnus now continues with bishop to g5 with the idea to pin this knight on f6. Now, other moves that are possible here for white, of course, is h3 to stop bishop g4 here for black, or to simply castle. Both of these moves are good. Magnus decided to play bishop g5, h6 for black, attacking this bishop, and we have bishop h4 on the board. Bishop b6 played for black. Black simply wants to say one move, because in these sort of positions it is expected for white to play d4 at one time or another and simply to try and attack in the center. That is the reason why bishop b6 was played, but Magnus doesn't want to push d4, at least for now, and he plays knight b to d2, development move and a very common theme in a Spanish game. This knight, of course, will later come to f1 and then be moved to g3. Common thing. We have bishop to e6. Now black offers the trade. For now Magnus doesn't want to do that and he castles. Black castles as well, and we have rook to e1, another pretty common idea in this opening to protect this pawn and to open the square for this knight. We have king to h8 for black. We have a4 for white. White now wants to open the a file or wants to simply put his bishop on a much better square. Of course, it is not good for black to trade. Rook b8 was played for black, and we have knight to f1, so Magnus continues his original idea, which is common in this opening. We have rook to g8 for black. Black wants to kind of scare Magnus with a move such as g5, and then maybe he can create some counterattack on the king's wing. We have a takes on b5, a takes on b5 for black, and we have knight to e3, so Magnus for now quits his original plan knight to g3 and moves the knight to a much better square in this position, which is knight to e3. We have g5 on the board attacking this bishop. Bishop retreats, and we have queen to d7 played for black. Magnus now sees that trading this bishop will not be good for him, and he saves it with bishop to c2. Game continued with knight to g4. Right now black attacks this knight and wants to offer a trade. Magnus refuses and he plays knight to d5, offering the trade in the center. Black is practically forced to pick up this knight because it is too strong here. He attacks so many pieces and it is really an annoyance in the black's position. So bishop takes on d5, e takes on d5. This knight is attacked, and we have knight to e7 played for black. We have d4 on the board, a really good move by Magnus, and right now we have e takes on d4. Now we will go, of course, back and see after d4. You can see that this pawn is free for taking, so let's see what would happen if Grigorians decided to pick up this pawn. Game would continue with d takes on e5, d takes on e5, and right now knight takes on e5. Black now has a few possibilities. The main possibility here is, of course, to pick up this knight, because if you decide to move your queen, it can be really difficult. This knight is hanging and e-file is open, and it's gonna be really hard, so you are practically forced to pick up this. And after rook takes on e5, right now this knight is hanging, and if you decide to defend it with move like c6, then queen to h5 is the major threat for Magnus Carlsen, immediately attacking this pawn here, and this is a checkmate threat, by the way, because this bishop is also aiming. You have to be careful. So king g7, the only move, and right now we have a beautiful sacrifice. Rook takes on g5. Right now this diagonal opens and aims at this rook. We have h takes on g5, queen takes on g5 with a check, king f8, queen h6 check, king to e8, and right now after bishop takes on b8, this is a completely lost position for black. White is a 2 pawns up. His king is really in danger, and there is nothing black can do here. Computer evaluates this position as almost 3 points better for white, so it's pretty much game over. And that is the reason after d4 e takes on d4 was played, and right now after knight takes on d4, a huge mistake by black. I have to remind you that this is a Blitz Championship, so black was running out of time and he made this mistake with knight to g6. This was not forgiven by Magnus Carlsen. Simple bishop f5 immediately solves this game, and this is at this move 23 where black decided to resign because he simply will lose his piece. There is nothing you can do. If you retreat your queen anywhere, queen takes on g4 and this game is over. The way how black should have continued this game, of course, after knight takes on d4, instead of knight g6, knight f6 was the best option, and after h4, rook b2 e8. Although white is slightly better, this is a completely playable position, but as I mentioned, this is a World Blitz Championship. You have to move really fast and to think really fast, and playing against top grandmasters is really hard. If you are left behind on time, you will definitely lose your game, especially in these complicated middle game positions. And this is how this game ended, and this is all I have prepared for you today, guys. If you enjoyed this game, please make sure to leave a comment, like and share this video with other people who enjoy chess, because word of mouth referrals really help my channel grow. Please also let me know your comments and your thoughts about this game. Have I missed something in the analysis? Did you enjoy this game? Do you enjoy watching Magnus Carlsen games? I'm guessing you do, but you can let me know in the comments as well. Also, if you wish to donate, you can do that directly through my PayPal. I will leave the link in the description of this video. Also, you can become a channel member. Another way to support me, each new donator will be listed in my new screen whenever I make new videos, so your name will be visible there. And yes, this was all, guys. I really appreciate your attention, and we will see each other in the next video. I will be covering more of this championship. I will also cover a rapid championship as well. It was finished really recently. Magnus actually won it. It was exceptional performance, and I will be gathering more of Magnus Carlsen games and other games from this tournament. So a lot of fun times ahead, guys. Thank you so much for watching and have a nice evening. Bye bye.